Let's look at some of the beaver lures we have from Predator Control Group. We're going to break it down in basically two different kinds. You have a caster based kind, more territorial, and we have a food and curiosity kind. We'll start off with the food kind, because not a lot of people use these, and that's a shame because they really do work. Anybody that's seen the Teachers of the Night beaver, where you see them taking the sticks up out of the ground and eating the stick and the lure and everything else around it, that's what a good food lure does. Now, if you've got a food lure and you come back and your stick is always still there and the lure's there, you catch a beaver sometime or not, I'm telling you guys, that's not a very good food lure. The beaver will want to physically take your stick and eat it if you don't catch them. The one that is the most popular we have is Beaver Buffet. Now, Beaver Buffet is a food lure only. There's no caster. It's basically, there's a few different oils in here that really get the beaver to want to come by and get a hold of what the lure's on. You can put this on a tree, a stump, a stick, or whatever you want to do. Or other straight food lure is Damage Complaint. Now, this is a very strange odor for a beaver lure if you're expecting the traditional type beaver lure. But this is one that will really get a beaver's attention. You'll get him to come up to him. The food and curiosity lures a lot of times are what I hold back in my bag of tricks when I'm doing beaver control work. You want to have different type smells. Just because you get it from a different dealer, if they all smell the same, it's basically going to be the same result. None of these smell the same. None of my beaver lures have the same smell at all. And Damage Complaint is a very strange but very appealing beaver lure as a food call. They will also eat this. The other one is Flat Tail Call. I've used this all over the country, all different times of year. Basically, all these lures I use year round. But the Flat Tail Call to me is one of those rare lures that can call a beaver. I like it a lot when I get on big water. It's got a lot of draw, got a lot of calling power to it. It's more of a curiosity food combination lure than just a straight caster. There is a little bit of caster in here for fixative purposes, but not enough you can smell. It's more of a curiosity food type one, but it really works. And all the beaver lures that I'm going to talk about work from coast to coast. There's no question. We have government agencies that buy this stuff by the case. I've got companies out of Canada that will also buy it by the case because of the uniqueness of their odors and how well they work when you put them out on the line, which is the goal for everybody. The first caster lure I want to talk about is Enrager. This was the first beaver lure I really started having success with. It has a lot of caster in it, but there's an essential oil in here that when you come up a lot of times, you'll see the beaver have been so enraged, therefore the name, that they'll tear up 4, 5, 6 foot of the bank trying to get this completely out of the situation. Very few beaver lures on the market with straight caster or oil sacks will ever get that type of reaction. It's the reason we do so well with it and we sell it to so many states and government agencies. The other one is Delta Red. This is becoming one of our best-selling beaver lures because of the attraction this has. Now, this is a caster base. There's other stuff in here. I got this formula from a friend of mine who's really old school USDA trapper down in Mississippi. He kept this a guarded secret, this formula, for many years. We did a beaver school with the USDA. We're sitting around a campfire. We get to talking about lures. He's got another one, but he won't tell me what that formula is. But Delta Red come from him, and he was catching hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beaver off of Delta Red, and he was right. This is a tremendous beaver lure to use. It is a caster base. The other one that we use a lot of all around the country, and this has got a couple of neat factors to it. This is Enrager 2. All the other beaver lures and stuff that we have are thick. I mean, they hold on a stick well. You can smear them, you can do all kind of stuff. Enrager 2 is a different animal altogether. It is liquid. It's got the consistency of basically a light motor oil or something like that. It's made with a flip top. You just squirt it down at your set. It's a speed factor. This is kind of a basically call lure for beaver. When I say that, it's got territorial, it's got a lot of sexual drive to it, it's got food additives, and it's got curiosity. It comes in 8-ounce bottles. You flip the top. You don't need but 3 or 4 drops on this. There's a lot of guys that use the Enrager 2 When they have a slide that's not active, they'll put a couple of drops up beyond it. They'll rework old caster sets and stuff with it. This is one last year I did not have on the market as far as retail because we had a control company out of Canada, believe it or not, bought everything that I had in stock last year, so we had to pull it off our catalog. And they've already reordered again this year. Tremendous beaver lure. The neat thing about this is if you're around otter, it's a good thing to have around because otter are attracted to this. And besides that, if you're looking for a really good change up on your coyotes, fox, and your cats, when you're refreshing a set, you're going to have a hard time finding something that's easier. 3 or 4 drops is all you need, even at a predator set. It's very strong, stays around a very long time. Now there's a lot of guys out there that have this misconception about beaver lure. When I was doing a lot of beaver control, which I don't do that much anymore, I've kind of more went into the coyote side of the work. But when I was having years of 500, 700, and best year of 1104, as far as beaver, there was no way I could do it with just generic beaver lure. There was absolutely no way. I was on top of the same beaver too often, getting survivor, stuff like that. They have to be very well designed. Just having caster will catch you beaver, but a very well compounded beaver lure will always catch you more beaver. So if you're needing to catch more beaver, or you're in the control work, you can take my word. I've got the numbers and the dead beaver to back this up. You will not find better beaver lure anywhere on the market, no matter how well they're publicized or how well they're known. The reason we get the orders we do from trappers and government agencies and state agencies in foreign countries is because when people get a hold of my beaver lure, it's had so much testing and it had so much actual in the field backing it up and tweaking it that there's not going to be hardly anything out there that I know of that's even going to compare. So if you're looking for confidence in a beaver lure, you can trust these because they got the beaver to back them up. Besides our Beaver Blitzkrieg book, which is more based on fur trapping, we have a Art of Professional Beaver Control, which is 4 hours of ADC style beaver trapping. This is probably the most detailed information you're going to get on beaver. You'll probably never set a slide wire again. It's going to give you several options. We cover footholds, wet and dry, snares, conibears, habits of beaver, how to work a sight from finishing in, dam breaks. There's so much information here. It's the reason it's 4 hours long. And this was back when I was trapping 500 to 1100 beaver a year. That's the information that is inside of this video. So if you're interested in doing ADC beaver work, or you just want to become a better fur trapper, Art of Professional Beaver Control is going to get you the information you need to become a better trapper. If you're into beaver trapping and you want to get on a different level than just the normal information you've been getting, I wrote a book called Beaver Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg being full out attack. This is a fur trapping book for numbers. That's all it's for, is for pure numbers. And it's a lot of different techniques and methods back when I was doing a whole lot of beaver that allowed me to rack up so many numbers so fast. And I put that in Beaver Blitzkrieg for the simple fact that trappers could take this, use it as a guide, and duplicate so they can take the same numbers that I took, because I tell you exactly how that I put them in here. Another full-size book. This one, 80 pages, front and back, full size. Beaver Blitzkrieg. Well, the backbone of the trapping industry over as long as I can remember has probably been Raccoon. For that very simple reason, between our control work and our fur work, I put a lot of time in designing lures that go beyond the basic normal style of Raccoon bait and lure. First two I want to start with are actual lures. One is Blitzcoon and the other one is River Raider. Now what sets these apart, I believe, from a lot of other lures out there, you know, Raccoon can be attracted to a lot of different things, but if you just have a really sweet style lure, what it's going to do, it's going to fall down on you when you need it the most. When it starts cooling off, it doesn't, you know, go out on the wind currents very well. Sweet kind of gets killed by cold. Both of these lures have got a sweet, front smell and a very almost loud or rude backlash of another odor. And what those odors do in the Blitzcoon and the River Raider both, it pushes that. And it's in a combination of such that it allows, no matter what the temperature is, for you to still catch coon. Both of these lures by themselves are tremendous. I've caught, with this lure right here, as high as 314 raccoons in 2 weeks. Not a super catch, but it's a pretty good catch, especially cold rolled and out of state. Now, one thing you can do with either one of these lures, the Blitzcoon or the River Raider, is if you want to have you a bait, so you're gonna go get you a bunch of mackerel, or you're gonna catch a bunch of shad at the dam, or cut up catfish, whatever you want to do, in a gallon of bait, 2-4 ounces of Blitzcoon, you'll have a tremendous bait then. Same with the River Raider. You put about 8 ounces of this into a bait and stir it up. You're gonna have something you can depend on. You're gonna have a quality coon lure and bait combination there that you're gonna go out and be able to take a high number of coon anywhere in the country with. Now, the other products we have for Raccoon are more geared towards dog-proof traps, no matter what kinds you're gonna use. The first one that's been on the market for several years now is Monster Grizz Bait. We sell a lot of this. We sell it all over the place. We sell just as much to control trappers as we do fur trappers. It is a very thick, smearable paste. You can use it as just a coon bait by itself. You can use it in cages. The beauty of this, though, is it's easy just to put it on a stick or a spoon and smear it inside your dog-proof trap, and you're done. It's all self-contained in one thing, and raccoons really do want to get this in their mouth, and once they get their hands on it, they're going to keep working till you get caught, and that's Monster Grizz Bait. The other combination I've been playing with in about the last year that I knew, this is going to seem strange to you, but the coon crack comes in the pint. It's liquid. It's about the consistency of motor oil. No, it's not molasses. But what I've done with this is I've used a stimulant, a neuro-stimulant. And that sounds kind of screwy, I know, but there's a lot of things on the market that you may not be able to give a person according to the FDA, but there's no rules saying that you can't give it to a raccoon. And what these do is when it gets in their mouth and it gets in their tongue, it actually excites their nervous system. So I use the coon crack a little bit different than I do any other type of bait or lure, because the goal of the coon crack is to get it in their mouth. Once you get it in their mouth, you made a little junkie out of the coon, and he's going to stay there till he gets caught from you. On the dog-proof traps, I'll always put a little bit on the lip, let it roll down in on top of the other bait that I'm using. Once they get that and they put it in their mouth, they're yours, because it's something they're not going to want to leave, especially when their nervous system gets all excited and their brain turns them into a junkie. I mean, everybody knows what that means. So that's what the coon crack is. You could probably catch coon with it like at a standard set, but it probably wouldn't be the best. If you're going to use this at a standard dirt hole or pocket set, I'd have a couple of marshmallows or something that put a few drops of this on there so you can get them fired up before they go into your set. If you're using cages, put a little bit of this on some marshmallows or dog food out in front of your trap, get them fired up, and they'll go the direction that you want them to go where the other bait is, because they're going to want to keep eating once they get this in their mouth. Unlike the Monster Grizz Bait, Coon Crush is a very unique coon bait. I'm going to pour some out for you and you'll see that it's dry. And you can just take this in your hand and drop it down in an Alcatraz or a little Grizz or a Duke or whatever. And if you're using a pan system like the Alcatraz, shake it to get it off the pan, get it under there. It's got a very good odor to it. You'll smell a lot of things you smelled before in here, as far as chocolate, candy bars. A lot of that's what this is. A lot of it's just crushed candy. Coon Crush is the reason we call that. But I want to show you what this physically looks like. I just dump it out on the hood of the truck. It is totally in a dry form. This is it's a concentration of candies, different food like that, plus it has grains. And when mixed the way that we have this, it's something that Raccoon, because he'll sit here a long time trying to get this out of your dog-proof trap. It's also really good to put in front of your cage trap. One thing about the Coon Crush that is quite interesting when you start playing around with it, this is very good for red fox and gray fox. Just take some in your hand, throw it down your hole, throw it on a grass clump, do whatever you want to do. Fox really seem to like this. Caught a few coyotes on it. I wouldn't say that it's a coyote bait by any stretch, but the fox do definitely gobble up, especially your gray fox. But this too, the Coon Crack and the Coon Crush as a system together is really hard to beat for your dog-proof traps. And when you switch off between, because they're totally different odors here, between your Monster Grizz Bait, your Coon Crush, and your Coon Crack, it gives you some options, all quality, all dependable, also you can get more coon. Let's take a minute and go over some of the things on the Alcatraz, and it's kind of the one that I went to for the simple fact how effective it is and how well built it is as far as abuse. So I want to show you how to set it if you've never seen one, how you bait it, different things like that. Okay, this is the Alcatraz, the way it comes out of the box. Now these haven't been cleaned up, I've been using them. You may see some bait and stuff in them here in a minute. These work during the winter, they don't sit on the shelf. But it's a dog-proof style trap. It's very easy to set, is to make sure that the door with friction, when you close the door, it's hitting just a little bit on these bars right here. So that's what keeps it right there. Some traps you'll get, what you'll do is you'll open the door, put it down on a vise, take a small hammer, like a digging hammer or something, and hit it right here a few times, so it'll close and lock on you just like that. Let's go over the setting procedures real quick. If you're right-handed, put it in your left hand. You'll see this lever on the bottom right here. What you're going to want to do is push the lever all the way forward. Take your thumb on the door and bottom it out, and then you're going to take this lever once you bottom that door out with your thumb and pull it back, and the trap is set. It is really something that even if you don't have a lot of hand strength, you can set. But that's all it is to it, to set the trap. Okay, you'll notice the door on the back of the trap. You just pop it open, and you'll have that door right there. Now, taking some Monster Grizz Bait, just going to put it on the door and close it. That's all it takes to bait the trap. Now I've got the bait that's all behind where the trigger is right here, the pan system we have. It's just sitting on that door down there. It's not up against it, it's not pushing up against it. Several reasons for this. Now there is, like I said, there's a big difference between setting this like a little Grizz or one of the other traps that are on the market. I have nothing against any of the traps. There's a lot of good traps out there. But what makes this different is you see our actual restriction pan, which this right here, it's not a lever. So, and the reason, even though I've caught a lot of coon with the other style traps, I've never liked the idea of putting bait in there and then the animal's going to be picking the bait out, and then you're hoping that he grabs the lever and either pushes it or pulls it. That's why people use rubber hoses and sponges and those little like jelly bean looking candy things, and they're coming up with all different kind of ways because the idea of them pulling a lever is just not that efficient. So the way our pan works, it actually pretty much covers the whole area. The odor can go through it, but a coon cannot get his hand to the bait without firing the trap. As soon as he brings it, it's real sensitive. As soon as he tries to go around the edge of that washer or through the middle of that washer, he's caught. It's that quick. I'm not relying on that coon with this particular trap for him to have to push or pull a lever. I don't want it. I want that completely out of the equation, and that's what makes this different. At the moment, we have 2 fur handling videos out. We've got another series coming out that won't be me physically doing it, but I'm helping Scott Adams and Mark Kohler. They're going to have a whole series on putting up fur so you get the max amount of money, show you all the tricks and tips and different ways to make fur handling more enjoyable, and those videos will be out later in the fall. The ones we have now are the ones that I've done: speed processing beaver and putting up otter for the top lot. Beaver can be a challenge to a lot of people. This video, speed processing beaver, is exactly what it is. I'm going to show you how, in step-by-step sequence, to be able to skin a beaver in 3 to 4 minutes. You'll see how to do it. You'll see how easy it is to do it. Then, using a grizzle getter knife, I'm going to show you how to flesh that same beaver in just about 10-15 minutes. But the trick to this is you're not going to have to sweat. You're not going to hurt your back. It's very easy to do when you use the grizzle getter, which you can get from TomahawkOutdoors.net. Clay Mace is the owner of the grizzle getter now. But I show you in this video how easy beaver are to actually put up, because I'm telling you, after you put up several thousand like I have, you learn a lot of tricks, and that's what's in here. The second one is putting up otter for the top lot. It shows you how to save a lot of money on otter, how to keep your singeing down, how to skin them, how to flesh them, do all that. But the singeing's the main thing, and how to put them on boards. If you're going to be putting up a lot of otter, this is going to be great information, putting up otter for the top lot. Now, I know for years one of the most aggravating part about trapping was staking. You know, we got away from using the big heavy rebar. We started using the Iowa disposable style stakes. They got real expensive, so we started trying to go into the cheaper style disposables that are on the market. We all know who they are, and it's just aggravating. You had to have one that was hard ground, and over years those got where those wouldn't work either. The tips would break off of them. Then you have the regular disposable stakes that are the cheaper ones. If you have hard ground, you just drive her straight through there, and the more expensive type ones would work in either one, but they were just so plain expensive. So we, Predator Control Group, along with Wolf Creek Products, came up with the Wolf Fang. I've got a pretty good size hand. You can see the size of this. This is a very thick stake. You run your cable through here. We have a driver that you'll need to pick up from Wolf Creek Products also. But the Wolf Fang will drive in soft ground, just like a cheap disposable stake will, but it'll also drive in extremely hard ground. And we've had this on the market for a year. We're selling just a ton of them, for the simple fact that you can drive it in soft or hard ground, and the price is just, you can't beat it. Now, when you buy the cheaper stakes that you're always driving through, breaking the tips off and everything, you're spending about $40, $45 a hundred on them. That's the same price as the Wolf Fang stake, guys. Super value, super stake. You can drive this through wood. I've even put this on railroad beds, around strip pits, church roads, everything. That's how wonderful this is. Now, we'll have to warn you, this holds so good that a lot of guys have figured out that you need to have a drill if you're going to pull these and run it down next to the cable, because when you get these down under the ground and it sets, which it sets very quickly, when it sets and you try to pull it out like you would a cheaper disposable stake, you'll end up breaking your chain or J hooks. So you need to loosen that ground up if you're wanting to pull them. But for $40 a hundred, you can't beat that with a stick. The best stake going on the market, the Wolf Fang. I'd like to make everybody aware, Predator Control Group basically has 2 websites. Our home website, where this gives information about us and where our products are at, is www.predatorcontrolgroup.com. The second one I want to make more people aware of is Wolfer Nation. Just like the Wolfer, the old coyote trappers, and Nation. WolferNation.com is a social site that we've set up for trapping. Now, this site has hours and hours of free trapping videos on there. When you go to the home page, click at the top on free trapping videos, and they're anywhere from 2 minutes to 10 minutes of free trapping videos. We also have shared YouTube videos and I can't help it, but I had to put some political stuff up there, so there's also political YouTube videos that we see is pertinent today. Now, besides the free videos that you get on wolfernation.com, we also have our store on there that you can get any of these products with even more details that's in the store. On top of that, we have news at the bottom of the page, and we have a trapping forum that we get quite a bit of traffic on, and you'll find out one different thing about Wolfer Nation. It's a very civil site. There's not a lot of attacking or backbiting on there. It's just a good group of guys on Wolfer Nation that are always helping out different trappers. The website is free to you. There's a lot of different stuff on there that you can play around and look at. It's a good time. It's a good way to be able to ask questions, talk to other trappers, see what the fur prices are. There's all kind of aspects on Wolfer Nation you'd enjoy. But I would like to take just a minute, and I would like to introduce you to just some of Wolfer Nation. So who is Wolfer Nation?
With a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me. Cause I'll win, I'm a one of a kind, and I'll bring death to the place you're about.